I'm trying to think. Like the probably the hardest scene to shoot was the bothy scene was really difficult, but the fight scene in the car park was difficult. And I think mainly because it was just so cold.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Uncharacteristically so.
Yeah. But I think that was just filming in November in the north of England emotionally it was pretty draining, especially because there were certain scenes that we did where I definitely felt like, oh yeah, I've done that well. I'm happy with that. I can sleep at night. And then the other scenes where we did it, I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do that again. And we do it again now. I know we can't do it again. All right, no worries. That's fine. That kind of thing. But then, like looking back, thinking, oh yeah, maybe I'm being a bit. There was definitely certain scenes. Even now, when I look back and I think, no, there's probably things I could have done better. But I think, in hindsight, you're probably always gonna think that, but might not be true. I might think, no, you're just being stupid there.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. So I think the droving, looking back, actually going through the droving, they were really interesting to film just because of the fact that obviously there's not a lot of talking in those moments. It's just a case of like running, and like being surrounded by people who didn't know that this was going to be for a film. That was really good. That was really great.
That must have been fun filming the actual scenes.
Yeah.
Weaving in and out of the festival itself.
Yeah, we had like kind of 4 different teams with camera, everybody with a camera, just because knowing it's like, well, if we don't get it now, we have to wait a year. So it's like, it's not really. And that's what that's why the Ambleside one was like our contingency plan is like make sure that they're not going to have any ammo mass, but if we need just literally more people's butts on screen, that's what we can do that. But no, yeah, that was difficult, and you were great, Dan. I mean, that was just mainly you and Harry or DP. Most of that scene you were running with him.
Because Bobby wasn't there in the Penrith one. Bobby wasn't really there for the first. I remember for the first bit we did, because I think that was like right at the beginning of the droving. I don't remember Bobby being there at that point. But then when we got to the bit more in the town centre, I remember Bobby being there. Like,
absolutely. Yeah, because we had a few chances of. Well, actually, we got a lot of interesting shots from just the kind of the droving rehearsal before they even did it. Like all the fire stuff that was then, so that worked out really well. But yeah, there was a lot of like adapting and just trying to improvise on the spot. But in any way, sometimes these are more enjoyable because you're just reacting and it's so natural. Like we don't think about it. It's there's nothing to do wrong because you're just trying to get as much footage as possible and then put it together. And I always knew that scene will be like this from a script point of view. So that's why everything else around it was so structured that when you're like, well, we've kind of know that wherever we begin and wherever we end, like if we have the beginning and the ending in between, we're gonna have something. And I hope we did. But even if we had all the money in the world, you just cannot recreate that unless you're like literally James Bond money or something.
You've got that kind of cash.
Hollywood cash.
We don't like that kind of cash. Couple more questions. Because you've made pretty much all your whole oeuvre now. Oeuvre, I'm never sure how to pronounce that bloody word. All your work available. What Gemma said, available on YouTube for free, basically. So, was there any particular reasoning behind that, or?
Oh, I mean, we have a distributor that kind of makes all these decisions. So they're in LA, so they know how long it's best for a film to be on what stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think it is because like both HEX and the Droving, they've been out for a while, and it's good to just have them available for more people. And if you don't mind watching a ton of ads, if you have if you're one of the 3 people that actually have YouTube Premium, you can actually watch them without any ads, and it's great. So yeah, I mean they're on multi-channel networks. They're on multiple channels on YouTube. So yeah, they're they're available to be watched. But yeah, they're on so many platforms that even if you don't want to watch them on YouTube, you should be able to get them in any other way or fashion. But yeah, I think that's a lot of how the viewing is going. Because not everybody can. Like how many platforms you can subscribe to realistically at some point. Are you gonna have literally everything? And people cut their cable because it was cheaper, and now you have to pay more just to watch everything that you want to watch on all these different platforms. So I think
buying every bloody thing in sight up.
Yeah, things will gonna get consolidated soon, but
we're living in a golden age of access in some ways, but and also in terms of content being produced in some ways, but something is always going to slip between the cracks.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot more. It's funny because like back in the day, it was so difficult to make a film.
Yeah.
But if you made a film, even if it was literal dog shit, you will get it. Like people will watch it, because you don't have much of a choice, and they'll buy your DVD, and you're gonna make a lot of money, and a lot of people are gonna watch it. Nowadays, anyone can make a film, and anyone can also kind of made it like a lot of people can make it also like somewhat good. But then how are you gonna, plow through all of that just sea of product that's out there? That's a lot more difficult
there is so much
to do
out there that's kind of whenever I've got Shudder, and when you scroll through it, you see all these movies, and you're there thinking how you can't even, you're not even sure how you're supposed to. This could be great, so it could just be there. How can you tell? It can be very difficult to. Hopefully, a good trailer. I think that was, as I said, with the Droving. My initial thought was, I thought the premise I could predict what was going to happen. But I watched the trailer, and it was interesting enough for me to think, I know I want to see this. I'm obviously very, very, very glad we did. I pretty much evangelized about it.
Well, thank you very much. And I think on the same topic, I want to thank you, and I want to thank quite a lot of people like that, because the reason why people keep talking about the drawing keeps being brought up is because like there's so many, like there's just a group of people who are really big fans of it, and maybe we haven't like hit like the mass audience around the world yet, and I don't know if that will ever happen, but in terms of some circles, there's just some people can't seem to shut up about it, which it's very humbling, very nice.
Good.
and it really helps films like that, because it seems like it has longevity, and that's at the end of the day what matters. And even I think it was a year or two ago now, with COVID, all the years it seemed like, I say a year or two, but it might be 4.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I think it was a year after the drawing came out, and it was a book came out from quite a big publisher, Faber, I think, here in the UK, and it was about the history of British film and television, and he had a section on the folk horror, and it had all the big hitters, have your Wicker Man and your Blood on Satan's Claw and all that kind of stuff, and then it ended on the Droving. That was the last one in the modern section, talking about, and it was very well written, and there was a great stuff about Dan and Martin as a character, and I'm going like, well, look, for people like us, and that means a lot, and especially for me, who I'm not even from here, to be part of sort of the culture of a country, to have added something, that's very nice, and a lot of thanks to everybody who made that kind of knowledge possible.
Perfect.
It's one of the most useful things podcasters or people like us can hopefully do, which is to help hopefully give audiences some idea of how to, as you say, wade through all this content.
I mean, me as a consumer, I'm finding it now like that I need that, because it's great. It was great at the beginning when you said like, I can watch everything I want to watch, and then but then when all the new stuff comes around, it's like, oh, I miss when I had to watch something. right?
What do I actually want to watch out of all?
Yeah, exactly. So that's where proselytization helps, I think, when you're passionate about something.
Absolutely.
You're not talking it up because your friends are in it or because you had some investment in it. You're talking it up because you saw it, you stumbled on it, and it really meant something to you. So
and we kind of deal in different genres that do have a very kind of like strong religious audience, that really push it forward, and that's really nice, especially when we don't like HEX and the Droving. Yes, I guess they're folk horror films, but they fall into so many different little brackets. So it's really nice to see that people that even are kind of hardcore, either horror fans or folklore fans or history fans or whatever, or just a thriller, they do seem to champion as part of their own thing, but still as a combination of all of them, because
I know Ramsey Campbell was very impressed with the Droving. I live not far from him, so it was actually at his new book launch last night, and I'd previously recommended it to him, and he had watched it, and they both thought it was a really interesting and intelligent film. So
no, that's great. And again, thank you very much for spreading the word, and that's what films like that need, and that's what every artist needs, and that's why I try to do that with everybody who does anything sort of interesting and weird as part of our thing, even if it's artwork or the score or anyone else. And it's just that's what film is, and that's why I want it to be in film, because it's a combination of all these arts that we have, and you can put it all in, and then you can always and I try that there's at least a moment in the film that highlights one particular section of that art, the cinematography or the actor or the music, or like everybody should have their little moment, and that's quite important. So no, it's nice to hear all that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give some news. So I think in closing, the questions to sort of be asking, what's next? What are each of you guys doing next or working on at the moment? I know Sideworld 3, the third Sideworld film is out imminently, but are you working on anything at the present time?
So yeah, at the moment is because it was a crazy year with 3 Sideworlds in literally one in 12 months.
Yeah.
So we haven't. I mean, we've been promoting them, but we haven't had like much chance to really push the overall brand and really make it. I mean, it has a great traction, but I think we can do even better at just making it known and people following it. And there's a lot of, so yeah, it's quite a lot of development there that we're gonna put a lot of time into, and then planning sort of the next chapter of what are the next kind of 3 Sideworld films gonna be, and we're probably gonna go immediately into that after probably a bit of a break. But at the same time, just before we start, even I was taking some notes on things that can potentially be the next feature film, but I don't want to say which one it will be, because every time I say it's going to be that film, it ends up not being that film, and we make a different thing instead, as we've now said multiple times.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, because you never know. So it will be one of like 3 that comes to my mind. It just ends up being in how things align, but yeah, we'll be making something soon. But at the moment, it's all the Sideworld stuff.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, as and when you have something kind of on the go and ready to come out, then we'd love to obviously have you back.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much.
And thank you very much for doing this.
My pleasure.
Anything what have you got? Anything in the pipeline at the moment?
Actually, I kind of after the whole COVID thing, my life it was a bit of upheaval. So I've kind of taken a back seat from acting, not forever, just for a little bit, because me and my partner moved from London up north and got our own house, and just got a new job, just trying to get by for the time being until I figure out when I will try and get back into the acting. Just needed a bit of clear my head from it for a while.
Yeah.
Definitely delve back into it. I think hopefully in the next 12 months or something. I think.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll definitely again.
We're not gonna let him like delve into anything else for too long. What was it? So it was that a line from Boogie Nights that he was comparing him like him losing his manhood to like Michelangelo losing his like chisel or something like that. It's like I can't
I'm
lose my Dan for too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I sincerely hope there's another. We see another collaboration with you guys between the two you guys again soon, because it's
hopefully
De Niro, and
Two great tastes.
George had a comparison before, I will say.
We definitely have.
Firmly in the cheek.
We're early stages of earning it,
Yeah.
Again, if Dan, if you're involved in any kind of production that isn't, if the next thing if you've got something coming out, but it's not necessarily with George, and obviously again, let us know. We'd love to try and take boots that if we can.
Absolutely.
Both of you, obviously.
Okay.
We crazy artists have to stick together.
It's true.
Oh,
certainly
100%. No, this is absolutely important.
Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you both very much. And
thank you guys.
Thanks for having us. No, it's great. We have the best fans. We really do. We really do. So I really appreciate it. And from what I'm hearing, you guys have the best fans as well. So I think it's an endless chain.
Oh, excellent!
Just, like amazing
chain of
love.
Fans.
Yeah. It's a game of who's the most underrated. In a circle. So
Exactly.
pretty great.
Better be underrated than overrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Well,
I can't wait until I become overrated.
That's right.
I think
Gemma Files. I've just heard so much about her, and I'm so sick of it. Dan Oldroyd, come on.
He's a douche.
So, thanks both of you for coming on, George Popov and Daniel Oldroyd. Hope to speak to you again soon, and hope to see more awesome work from yours gracing the screens before much longer.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of No Darkness But Ours. Let us know what you thought, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the podcast, please feel free to make a donation through our Patreon or Ko-Fi pages. It remains only to thank our special guests, George Popov and Daniel Oldroyd, and hope we've spurred you on to discover more of their work if you hadn't seen it already. Next, Gemma and I will be discussing queer horror in all its forms, and coming soon will be a wealth of new, exclusive content for our subscribers. Until then, I have been Simon Bestwick.
And I have been Gemma Files.
And this has been, of course, No
Darkness But Ours.